Hey everyone, welcome to our show Time Out. I'm your host Trey Avant with my co-host, my brother Noah Avant, and this is a two-man webcast that discusses sports and entertainment. Before we begin, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms. Just look for at Boca Tribune on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also follow the show on Instagram at _timeout7. Huddle up, time for a timeout. All right, Noah, last night the Miami Heat went up against the San Antonio Spurs and came out with the W, 116, 111 win. Dwayne Dedman really surprised a lot of folks. He had 18 points and 9 rebounds in limited minutes. What are your thoughts on that?
This is very relieving to say the least. Seeing how he played yesterday really gives me hope that this edition could be like the Trevor Ariza signing. Low risk with a high reward. Bam had a double last night. He had 21 and 11 points. Jimmy Butler had, I think, 28, 8 and 9. So it was a pretty all-around good game for Miami. But Dedman playing like this shows that, okay, perhaps this could be something to work with. Our second unit, honestly, I feel like is where a lot of our issues coming in at. We have the players, but depth still is an issue. In my personal opinion, it's not so much our starters all the time as it is the second unit not being able to come in and maybe even picking up slack. So with Dedman showing that he can put up 18 points when maybe I think he had 10 minutes or 12 minutes yesterday.
I'm not quite sure. I feel like it was more than that though.
I don't think he had more than 15 minutes. This is exactly what you need as a Heat fan. As Heat fans, this is what you want to see. Yeah, Dedman had 16 minutes. He had 16 minutes yesterday, so I was a little bit off. He played on 16. He had 18 points with 16 minutes yesterday. That's something you really want to see. Coming into the postseason, and odds are if we can't manage to go up and secure the 6th seed, we'll be playing the Hornets in that play-in tournament. So I like our odds. Dedman has to continue to play at this type of level.
Yeah, his offensive rebounding and his energy was very helpful to the Heat. He's a great backup for Bam. Spell him because Bam never had that big man that can come off the bench and help him out and keep him out of the game so he can rest. The last time that probably happened was probably when we had Hassan and Bam wasn't even starting then.
Right. So he was the relief.
So Bam hasn't had that guy who can reliably, keep him energized. We put in Myers, we put in Kelly, and they might do okay for stretches, but their defense was lacking. They couldn't rebound. So it was like they had to put Bam back in pretty quickly. And that depth was an issue in the finals last season. After Bam got hurt, who did we have to play? We had to play Myers, and he was getting eaten alive by Anthony Davis.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is great that we have a big man that we could put on those bigger guys.
Yeah,
like AD and Drummond and Embiid and all them guys.
Absolutely. I'm happy to see this. And just to go back to your point, like you were saying, we actually have a big man now. We have an actual guy that back to the basket, I grab rebounds, I block shots, big man. In addition to Bam, which is good. The problem I had with KO and Myers was that these guys were just offensively minded. They shot the ball. In my opinion, they played soft big man basketball. Kelly, not so much as much as Myers did, but Kelly really wasn't the guy I really preferred to have in the paint. To me, Kelly would always play like a power forward more so than the center. So now that we actually have that center, this is really good to have. This is really good to see. Hopefully he can continue his play, he can continue this level of play and get more minutes as well.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. But speaking of power forwards, there's a power forward in Cleveland named Kevin Love. He's extremely disgruntled with the team. I know you've seen the play where the referee gave him the ball to inbound and he just slapped it away. and the other team scored. I forgot who they were playing, but it looked bad. It looked really bad. He basically came out and apologized and said that he loves Cleveland and whatnot. But I mean, it's clear he doesn't want to be there. It's clear he wants to be traded, released or whatever. But the thing is, he's making $30 million a year, and he's older. He doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild. He wants to be on a winning team. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Hey, man, listen, you waited a little late for that, bud. I mean, he could have joined the Brooklyn Nets sweepstakes. He could have went to LA, played with LeBron again. Heck, he could have went to Phoenix and played with Devin Booker and Chris Paul. But I mean, like, you don't. It's too late for that now. Yeah, and unfortunately, Kevin Love got the short end of the stick. He's the last guy there out of that Cavaliers team that really was a championship. That won a championship.
And who would have thought? Who would have thought Kevin Love was the last man standing?
Well, that's true. I mean, because I remember there were some rumors that he would even come to Miami, but it's just like, he's getting to that point now, bro. It's like you're getting up there in age, bud. Like nobody's gonna you're not gonna get a payday, you know. And I hope that's not what he's looking for. You know, in the offseason, I'd imagine Cleveland would try to move him just so they can, because he does have some trade. What's the word? Jesus, I can't talk today. He can pull some trade interest. You know, he's definitely worth something that Cleveland could get something worthwhile for. But it's just, again, I'm just not a fan of his game, like how he plays. At least he grabs rebounds and all, but he really plays that behind the 3-point line basketball.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, he's obviously not the focal point in Cleveland anymore.
Absolutely.
Colin Sexton and Darius Garland. Those are their two primary, guys that they go to. So Kevin Love's back to being, the third guy. I know he's not happy being the third guy behind those two younger guys. So I mean, right now he's going to be penciled in as like you said, a rebounder, spot up shooter. His days of leading a team is over. When he was with Minnesota, obviously he was a monster in Minnesota. He was averaging 26 and 14. That was crazy. And then those times where Kyrie and or LeBron were not playing, and he stepped up and he showed why he was one of the best power forwards in the league. But I mean, now those days are over. He's a role player pretty much now. I do believe the team will trade for him. It's definitely going to be a contending team, and like you said, he has value. So he'll probably be traded for a first round pick, but it's going to be like a late first round pick, obviously. But I could see a team like the Suns, use him to get over the hump, or the Nets. But the Nets would be kind of bad fit because they already don't have a big man that could really play defense. So I mean, they would struggle there. I don't know. That would be a great fit. But I like his fit with the Suns, though.
I like the fit with the Suns too, and especially with the team that they're building, the team that they have built now. I think he'd be a good side by side, or even to come off the bench for the Suns, a good side by side with DeAndre Ayton, But the thing with Kevin Love, and I'm gonna stick to this, is just what else can you do? Spot up shooting is good, yeah, it's well and good, but if you have to live with somebody else setting up your offense, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Before he got older, he had a little wiggle. He had some moves to him. It was different. You're not doing that now. Kevin Love had and LeBron really made K Love look nice. That's the thing about LeBron. LeBron knows how to add value to players.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. Why
wouldn't you say that?
He was amazing when he was with Timberwolves, and when he never really, when he got to the Cavaliers, he never adjusted to being the third wheel. Not like how Chris Bosh did. Chris Bosh adjusted well after the first season. Kevin Love never really adjusted whenever he was on the court with LeBron and Kyrie. It was when they were off the court. It was when they were off the court. That's when he succeeded.
I think he still played good with them. LeBron really made K Love look decent, bro. I mean, really good, bro. I'm not gonna say he looked as good as he did when he was in with with Minnesota in the Timberwolves uniform, but he still played really good with LeBron.
Yeah, he played good, but it's just not. He would have played better if he was on another team.
I don't really agree with that.
Like if he was on the Warriors, for example, he might have been a lot. He probably would have been not Timberwolves level, but he probably would have been around the same or slightly better than he was in Cleveland.
Yeah, but that's the Warriors. I mean, like, bro, if you're a shooter, Kyle Korver could look good with the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Like he was such a great. He is not was. He is a pretty good shooter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he gonna look great in the Warriors system. Screen, shots, screen, roll, screen, up, shot, pass the ball to Steph, pass the ball to Clay. Yeah, I guess, but it's like, bro, like, what other system? Like, what realistically, what other system would he look good in?
Spurs, Raptors, Heat.
No, you lost. Hey, I don't. Maybe this. I don't even see the Spurs because I'm not really a big fan of his post game.
He's solid down there.
He's solid, but nah, absolutely not. The Raptors, maybe, but even that's a stretch because they have Pascal Siakam. That's their guy. And the Heat, LOL.
It would have worked.
Heck no. He's too slow.
Okay, you acting like Kelly's any faster.
Kelly Olynyk is faster than Kevin Love. Please stop the cap.
Bro, you say that about every player that's on the Heat. They're faster.
Kelly Olynyk is faster than Kevin Love. Please do not tell me that you think otherwise.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, Kevin Love's a better player.
That's valid.
All right, then.
That's valid. But in a sense, though, but still, you have to be able to keep up with the offense. Like, I don't really feel like he'd be able to keep up with them on the fast break.
But you're acting like the Heat play a fast-paced game like that.
When we move, when that ball comes off the rim and Bam's throwing that outlet pass to Jimmy, they're gone. They're not playing around. They're running. And when
Victor
Oladipo
gets up to speed,
he's going to be doing the same thing.
That's not their whole thing, though. And Kevin Love is the one. Kevin Love is the one that starts the outlet.
It's still a majority of the game.
But that is not the majority of the game. But Kevin Love is the one who starts the outlet passes. He's one of the best outlet passers in the league.
But what else, what else can he do? We need you to put the ball in the basket. We need you to score. I don't want to throw the ball on the court and set up an offense. I want to get a fast break point.
That's literally what he can do.
He's not doing that though.
That's what an outlet pass is. You set up the fast break with a pass.
He's not going to be a fit for the Heat though, Trey. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, he'd be like, even now he'd probably get a pretty solid fit.
Heck no. Absolutely not.
That guy, Belika, whatever his name is,
yeah,
he would replace him pretty quickly, and then he'd end up not replacing Dedmon, but like he'd split minutes with Dedmon, and then he would be more.
Bielita is Virginia NB. Hey, look, listen. I don't know about that one. That one is just that. Hey, it is what it is. I guess it was the size thing. He is like 7 feet tall, so cool. Hey, look, he probably could replace him, bro. But it's just like Kevin Love just does not impress me. I would not like to see him in a Heat jersey. Like that's just.
Would you want to see him? Would you want to see him in a Heat jersey if he was like 25?
If he was back in his Timberwolf form, absolutely.
He's the same guy.
He's not.
He's the same guy. He just has a smaller role.
He's really not.
He's the same guy.
No.
Just smaller role.
No, I'm good, bro.
What's the difference between Kevin Love then and Kevin Love now?
Kevin Love then actually was hooping.
That's because he was the best player.
He carried the whole Timberwolves for years. What do you mean?
He was the best player on the worst team in the league. What are you talking about?
What is he doing now? He's not the best player on that team now. We just established that he's not. So he's not the same 35. Guy. Huh?
He's like 35.
LeBron's 36. Okay, and
that's LeBron. That's LeBron.
But bro, you literally said, "Oh, he's the same guy." Oh, bro, he's 35, bro. He's not. What do you mean? Okay, so that's what I'm saying. No,
All right. All right.
Absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not.
You're disrespecting Kevin.
I'm going to continue to disrespect Kevin Love until he shows me different.
Okay. But moving on, the Suns have clinched their first playoff berth since the 2010 season. Pretty much all thanks to Chris Paul. Devin Booker did his thing, but I
I
mean,
can't even say just him though. Monty Williams. Monty Williams has
Monty
really
Williams did
done
his
a
thing
good
too.
job. That's my coach of the year, in my opinion, bro. Like,
Yeah. There's,
it's
there's
just
no
like, bro,
there's no competition. He's clearly coach of the year.
like clear cut.
Like
And we
he's
have to
that's
give
the same
CP3 his
roster as
credit.
last year. It's just they have Chris Paul.
Yeah. And Jay Crowder.
Yeah, Jay Crowder.
Well, like, yeah, like, and this is interesting. I really feel like this team right here has the biggest chip on their shoulder. Their players really have chips on their shoulders. Yeah, DeAndre Ayton, some people may even consider him a bust because he was such a high pick, and they really haven't done much with him, in prior years. Devin Booker doing everything under the sun he can to be, the franchise player to help lead them. Chris Paul, who does not get the respect he deserves. And that's something I really wish I had time to talk about with him when I met him. Is talk about like how does it feel to be so underappreciated? How do you take that to the chin every day and go in there and do what you do? Because Chris Paul, even with the Thunder, he was counted out. With the Rockets and I say this all the time when people talk about James Harden, I say this, without Chris Paul, y'all see what happened with James Harden. He fell apart. He died. He crumbled and fell. And I say, and I stand by this. Had Chris Paul never got hurt, Chris Paul and James Harden would have went to the finals that year. You know what I'm saying? Like, Chris Paul has been doing this stuff. He's been playing like this. He's been playing like this since he was with the Hornets. But every year, it seems like there's something going on. When he was with the Hornets, they didn't build a team that was sufficient enough around him so they can go further. Then he had to deal with the Lakers. When they got traded to the Lakers, the league vetoed the trade, so he couldn't play with Kobe. Then he leaves the Hornets finally. Goes to I think it was he went to the Rockets.
He went to the Clippers.
He went to Clippers. Had Lob City. I forgot about him. Had Lob City. Biggest bust in the world. They couldn't make it that past the second and third round. Takes a trip. Then he goes to the Rockets. Then he goes to the Thunder. Now he's here in Phoenix. Every team he's been on, let's be real, he's made them better.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely made them better. He's like like you said, a point guard is the quarterback of basketball.
Right.
He's basically like a Tom Brady, Peyton Manning type of guy. You plug him in, and then he just makes them better instantly. Like those receivers, those trash receivers, he makes them Pro Bowlers. The Thunder was supposed to be one of the worst teams in the league last season. He got him to the fifth. He got him to like the 5th or 6th seed last year.
Yeah,
incredible.
Like what CP3 does, and this is why honestly I rate him, and I know I get a lot of pushback on this. He's a top 5 point guard of all time. Like he's top 5. Every team he goes to, he makes them better. He really made the Clippers look like a playoff team, and arguably some people said they were a championship team in some cases. Same thing for the Rockets. Same thing for the Thunder. Well, not so much for the Thunder, but nonetheless, even when they were in the playoffs, people thought they could have even made a push. And now we have the Suns. The Suns with Devin Booker, who's hungry. You have DeAndre Ayton, who's hungry. Monty Williams, who's making a name for himself. He's already been solidified, but now he's really showing teams like, yeah, he's showing franchise, yeah, I'm really a good coach. And honestly, how I looked at it, if I remember correctly, how the standings are going, they see the Lakers in the first round.
Who?
The Suns.
How? Wait, aren't the Lakers? What's the Lakers? They're 7th?
Because you remember they had LeBron and AD have been playing.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking at the standings correctly, They're seeing the Lakers in the first round.
They'd be playing the Blazers. The Lakers are
Oh
fifth.
yeah, because they played it. The second seed always plays the 7th seed. So yeah, they played the Trailblazers. I'm tripping. So yeah, so they played the Trailblazers with Damian Lillard, and frankly, I see them beating them.
Yeah, because McCollum's out.
Yeah, and even if I think for the play-in is this does the 7th and the 8th seed play or the 7th and
the 7th and 8th. I think it's
7th and the 8th or is the 7th
I think it's 7 through 10 actually.
Yeah, but I'm saying like how the rankings go. Would Portland play Golden State or would Portland play Memphis?
I think they'll play Golden State, and then Memphis will play San Antonio.
See, like, I honestly think Phoenix could probably beat the Warriors.
Unless Steph goes absolutely crazy.
Yeah, but Steph's one guy.
Okay. You can like one guy can't get you past the first round.
Yeah, but this Phoenix Suns team, like I said, bro, they have something to prove, bro. Like, that is the ultimate statement. Like, yeah, we go out here, even though we're the 2nd seed in the West, and this is if the Warriors were able to beat Portland. I'm talking about if the Warriors actually beat Portland and then they had to play the Phoenix Suns. I see them losing. I really feel like the Suns would beat them. I think Portland could beat them. You know, I'm not super thrilled with the Warriors. Maybe next year when they get Clay, yeah, they're gonna be back at it. I think the Warriors will probably be a top 3, top 4, maybe even top 5 team next year in the West with Clay back. But now I don't see them beating Portland. Really, though, that's probably going to be the favorite coming out of this play-in tournament. So that's just my 2 cents on it. But
yeah, before we move on, I wanted to say with the thing he said with DeAndre Ayton, I don't think people consider him a bust because he's really a 20-10 player. I think people might consider him like a disappointment because he was drafted 1, and then number 3 was like Luka Doncic.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's why I said some people may consider him a bust. I didn't say all people. I said some people may consider him a bust.
Because I mean, he's a great player, but I mean, when you have Luka and Trey Young on the board, it's like you know.
But I don't really think that's a bad pickup because they already had guards.
Yeah, I mean, it's like with the Raptors, it's not their fault they drafted Chris Bosh when Dwayne Wade was still on the board. It was still a good pickup.
Yeah,
that's true. Dwayne Wade ended up being a better player, but I mean, they still had success with Chris Bosh. Yeah, but it's time. It's commercial break time. You're watching Timeout with the Avant Bros. If you enjoy the show, please click the share button to share the stream with all your friends. Also, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just look for @Boca Tribune. You can also follow the show on Instagram at @the_timeout7. See you soon.
Information. If it exists in writing, we print it. If it exists online, we update it. If it exists on mobile, we notify. If it exists in video, we show it. If it exists in audio, we play it. In the past, the news had to wait for a paper to print for it to happen. Today, news happens in real time. It's analyzed, edited, and published immediately by us, your neighbors, and of course, you. Wherever you are, you write, edit, give opinions, share photos, and make the news happen. This is why a paper needs to be on print, on screen, and on your phone. Wherever you are, your news has a pulse in the community. The Boca Raton Tribune. We are much more than just a newspaper. We are your closest neighbor.
Welcome back, everyone, to the NFL. And a recent report just came out that Aaron Rodgers wants to leave the Green Bay Packers. He is disgruntled with the team. Supposedly, it's about the contract extension. But right now, the Packers are trying to talk him out of requesting a trade. But so far, it looks like Aaron Rodgers is on his way out. What are your thoughts on that?
Aaron Rodgers said, "I'm out of here." He said, "Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more." Aaron Rodgers. I mean, honestly, bro, and it comes down to Aaron Rodgers in this whole situation, the writing was on the wall. You drafted a quarterback last year in the draft when I need receivers. I need something else to help. You drafted a quarterback. My replacement's here. We lose in the playoffs. I'm angry. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm getting up there in age. You know what I'm saying? Like he's getting that point now in his career where it's just like, okay, I'm either playing for somebody that could potentially win or is winning. I'm not playing here anymore. I'm done. Like, I'm washing my hands of you guys. They even said, I think it was a report, Adam Schefter said that they offered him a max contract. He doesn't want it. You know, when it comes down to everything that's going on with the Packers, it really comes back to he is tired of being tired with this franchise. If I'm the Packers, I'm on the phone with Atlanta right now. What is it going to take for us to get Julio Jones from you guys? Because Atlanta wants to trade. It said they will listen to trades for Julio. Yo, Aaron. Okay, so Aaron, if we manage to get Julio Jones, will you sign your extension? Will you come back to Lambeau Field next season? Because we need you. This is our best player. We need to make it happen. If you're not on the phone talking to Atlanta, talking to somebody to appease Aaron Rodgers, like, Aaron, who do you want? We'll try our best to make it happen, but just don't demand a trade. He's gone. And teams like the Patriots, who could use a guy like Aaron Rodgers and will gladly toss them Cam Newton. What's up? And there's a lot of teams in this draft that need quarterbacks and they have very high picks in this draft. Would not be surprised if we saw a call earlier tonight saying, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and trade you to this team right here, and we're going to go ahead and draft somebody. Because as a GM and how the reports are sounding, there is nothing these guys can do, and it's similar to the Deshaun Watson situation in Houston. He's just fed up. He wants to leave. So we're going to see.
Yeah, I feel like the Packers' biggest mistake was last year. Instead of drafting a receiver in the first round, they drafted Jordan Love, a quarterback who is clearly the successor to Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers, I felt like he felt some type of way because he's not super old. He's like 35, and Tom Brady's 43. So realistically, Aaron Rodgers will play for another 10 years, and here you are drafting his replacement already, and he's still playing at a high level. So I can understand why he wants out. And also with Aaron Rodgers, with the Packers want Aaron Rodgers back, which is understandable. They're saying they really don't want him to leave or demand a trade. But that also signifies to me that they don't think Jordan Love is ready to take over the reins yet.
He's not.
Because with the Chiefs, I mean, they had Alex Smith, and Alex Smith didn't demand a trade. But if Alex Smith was disgruntled and demanded a trade, they would have happily let him go because they knew Patrick Mahomes was ready.
Yep.
The Packers clearly don't feel that way about Jordan Love. They clearly see that he still needs more time to sit on a bench and learn. So I mean, it's tough. I mean, this draft today is just very important for them.
Yeah.
Like this draft today is very important.
And I truly feel like Aaron Rodgers knew he was ready to leave months ago. He might have been ready to go after they lost in the playoffs. So it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it today. I want to tell you guys right now, I don't want to play with you guys. So you guys have the option. Get something for me that you guys can maybe build for the future, put me on a team like that, or get nothing. Or get something less. Like, because it's just, wow, out of nowhere. This came out of left field. Like, Aaron Rodgers is not happy and he wants to leave. What? I was on the way home from work. I looked at the phone, about broke my neck on the road. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, I know he's been unhappy for a while. I know during the exit interviews, reporters are asking questions about his future, and he was like, "I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy. I don't know what's going to happen. I might be here, I might not." So clearly, he was non-committal about his future. So I mean, he's always been looking towards getting out.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next.
Yeah.
But another interesting addition, Tim Tebow has asked for a tryout with the Jaguars. But here's the catch: as a tight end, not at the quarterback spot. You're hearing me right. As a tight end, Trey, what are your thoughts on Tim Tebow coming back as a tight end?
I like it. He was never a great quarterback. He already had his workout, and apparently the Jaguars are considering signing him. But I mean, it's understandable why they brought him in. Urban Meyer is their head coach. Urban Meyer was the head coach at Florida. When Tim Tebow was dominating, the NCAA. So I mean, I understand. I can see them using Tim Tebow because Tim Tebow was a great athlete. I could see them using Tim Tebow not just as a tight end, but more so in the Taysom Hill role. Using him as tight end, receiver, running back, quarterback. You might see him on special teams. Because he has that type of athletic ability. And baseball clearly hasn't worked out for him. So why not get back on the football field?
Do you think that they potentially got him as a mentor in a sense for Trevor Lawrence? I mean, Trevor Lawrence is basically everything but drafted to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's already donated money to local Jacksonville charities. So do you think that potentially the addition of Tim Tebow to this team, part of his job description is to mentor and uplift Trevor Lawrence for the quarterback spot?
Yeah, I could definitely see that. They could use him as a mentor. I mean, Trevor Lawrence could teach Tim Tebow a thing or two about playing quarterback. But I feel like Tim Tebow, if he were to get signed, he'd definitely be used more so as like to help Trevor Lawrence deal with the pressure. Because when Tim Tebow was at his peak was crazy.
Yeah.
The Broncos were going on a crazy win streak. They made it to the playoffs. They beat the Steelers. Tim Tebow's peak was unbelievable. Tebow mania, all that. So he was like extremely famous during his time at the Broncos and obviously at his time at Florida. So I mean, he could teach Trevor Lawrence on how to deal with the fame that comes with being in the NFL. Because I mean, he was very popular, obviously at Clemson, but in NFL is a little different.
Yeah.
So Tim Tebow could definitely teach Trevor Lawrence a thing or two about dealing with that type of stuff.
Absolutely. It's a lot more. It's not like a Greenville. It's just like everything around you is just rule, and then it's a college. Now you can go back home in little parts of South Carolina you don't know about, and they know about you. Like you're not just a college guy, you're the professional guy now. But your dreams but speaking of this moment, a lot of these guys are going to have that tonight. Tonight's a draft, and it's a lot of things that can happen tonight. The first three picks are projected to get quarterbacks, but it's pick 4 and down where things can really get dicey. Philadelphia has basically said that they're going to try to trade up in this draft. They traded Miami for the 8th pick, and now they
The 6th pick.
6th pick. Yeah, they have the 8th pick now, correct?
No, the Dolphins have the 6th pick.
I'm talking about the Eagles.
The Eagles have 12.
The Eagles had the 12th pick, so the Eagles had the 12th pick, and they're saying that they could potentially trade up. I'm interested to see what they do. I feel like they could potentially trade up to get a receiver for Jalen Hurts or Joe Flacco or whoever they decide to end up making their starting quarterback with that situation down there. That could be why they want to trade up, maybe trade up for Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith. Because those two guys are going to be guys that I really feel like could possibly be a game changer for a franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. The first 3 picks are definitely going to be quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson are definitely going to the Jaguars and the Jets, respectively. That 3rd pick kind of iffy. Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, who knows? Or, they might trade the pick. The 49ers might trade the pick, who knows? Actually, no, they're not going to trade the pick because they said the head coach and the GM, they already made up their decision on who they're going to draft. So it's going to be Jones, Fields, or Lance. Like you said, the 4th pick and down is going to be dicey. I know the Patriots want to move up, Eagles want to move up, Saints want to move up. The Broncos just traded for Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
And he's not their long-term answer. So they're probably going to draft a quarterback to compete with Bridgewater and Drew Lock. So, I mean, it's going to be a really fun night, and no one knows what's going to happen. Other than the first 2 picks, no one knows what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, everybody has a suspicion. I think when it comes down to this draft, though, like in regards to these other teams, like the Saints and the Patriots, that's like those guys are going to give, like, you're going to see a pretty big name move because I have a pick in, let's say, like the top 10. I'm not taking pennies, you know what I'm saying, from my pick. I'll need some additions. So maybe we could see a big move. Maybe we could see Taysom Hill get traded, or maybe Jameis Winston, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, from the Saints wise. Maybe Cam Newton, maybe Stephon Gilmore from the Patriots. And maybe these guys could be on the move. I'm very interested to see how tonight works out. The draft is tonight on ABC at 8 p.m. You can watch it, I believe, on ESPN as well. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, please have your popcorn, have your snacks ready, and be glued to your TV by 8 o'clock sharp because it's going to be a very, very interesting night.
Yes, sir. I'm super excited. But moving on, we're going to Noah's favorite segment, the Out of Bounds segment. Today is Views' 5th anniversary. Views is obviously Drake's album. What is your favorite song on the album?
Oh, man, I was listening to it today. I'm going to say Fire and Desire or Western Road Flows. Western Road Flows. Like I remember when Views dropped, I was in class, and that was actually our prom day. We had prom. I was in prom, going to prom 5 years till on this day. And it was just like, it was such a vibe, like listening to it straight through, and you could really hear Drake's production on it, starting from the cold, keeping the family close, where then it gets warm with Controller, and it kind of gets cold again with Fire and Desire, and to peak it all, kind of like almost at the end, cap it off with Summer's Over interlude. Like, the album really was a masterpiece, and Drake's music, kind of like a lot of the greats, at least, music ages like wine. It just gets better as it gets older. So, I personally, those are my favorite. What about you, Trey?
I don't know if you're gonna agree with what I'm gonna say. I mean, I enjoyed the album very much so. My favorite song It's I would say one dance. I'd say one dance, and then after that, probably controller. I knew you were gonna say Fire and Desire. I know you said it before that was that was your favorite song on the album. So I'm not surprised you said that. But I'm a one dance type of guy.
Strength and guidance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was listening to that just before the show, and I was like, "Yeah, this is it right here."
Oh man, I don't know. That's a hot take, just like this one that you have right here.
I don't think it's very hot.
I think it is, but let's hear it.
All right. So by the time, folks, it's hot take time, and my hot take of today is Zion Williamson will win MVP next year. And let me explain why. He's about like he's 20 years old, right?
Yeah.
And right now he's averaging 26.8 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 3.6 assists. I can't even see how many blocks he's averaging, but it's pretty good for a guy who was 6'7", 285, maybe like 6'6". I've seen his stats compared to other like players in the past, and the only person who matches up with him is Wilt Chamberlain. And Wilt Chamberlain was destroying NBA records. He has records that have still never been broken. And Zion Williamson is out here breaking some of his records, and that's crazy. And I just feel like with improvements to the Pelicans team in the offseason, if they do make those improvements and the team gets to the playoffs, it'll be because of Zion Williamson. And that could propel him into MVP conversations. Luka probably would have been in that conversation too, but the Mavericks are not very good right now. If the Pelicans are able to get better, then Zion is clearly, not clearly, but Zion's probably win MVP next year because he can't be stopped. He can't, other than last night when he got blocked by Nikola Jokic. But like, he can't be stopped. He has like almost no flaws in his game. It's crazy.
I can't disagree. That's very valid. That is very valid points. I agree. Okay, that's pretty good. That's a pretty interesting hot take. I like that. No, I like that one. I think the Atlanta Falcons are probably going to trade this fourth pick or draft a quarterback with this fourth pick. But nonetheless, they will not be drafting Kyle Pitts like everybody think, like many reports are saying. I feel like Atlanta will probably miss the step with him. Maybe not grab him and maybe grab a quarterback because Matt Ryan is slightly declining. Or they may even try to trade this pick to Green Bay, potentially. Maybe give Aaron Rodgers a fresh start in Atlanta, and now he has Aaron Rodgers and Calvin Ridley to throw the ball to. Who really knows? But I do not feel like Kyle Pitts will end up in Atlanta today.
It's funny you say that because even Kyle Pitts doesn't believe he's going to the Falcons. He said he believes that the first 4 picks will be quarterbacks. That's what he said. So you might be right there.
Hey, it's just like I cannot see them going after Kyle Pitts when they have a guy like Julio Jones there. They have Calvin Ridley. And their main issue is not their receivers, it's their quarterback. And why not get Justin Fields, the Georgia boy that's on the board? I don't know. That's just me. But Kyle Pitts won't be in the Falcons uniform.
Okay.
That's just what I'm saying.
If that happens, then he's probably going to be the Dolphins uniform. But, all right, guys, that's it for today's show. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just look for @Boca Tribune. You can also follow the show on Instagram at @the_timeout7. Follow me on my personal Twitter at Trey Avant 3. Noah.
You can follow me on Instagram at ArtBuilder Noah. And you can follow me on Twitter at WhoBuildsArts.
Timeout airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. As always, this is the Avant Bros signing off.